Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Jen Kazin, and I'm the user group leader for the Twin Cities user group. My focus is account engagement, and of course Salesforce, and now also with the new product, the new Marketing Cloud group. And I'm here with Julie. Julie, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Julie Edminster. I'm a Salesforce and Marketing Cloud account engagement and now Marketing Cloud solutions architect. So I'll be here assisting Jen, and I'll have to show you the demo of the product. So I've been doing this for about 10 or 12 years, implementing Salesforce and Pardot probably 8 or 9. So I've been doing this a long time. So it's really nice to have you all join us today.
Perfect, awesome. All right, so again, today it's a virtual meeting between the New Hampshire group and the Twin Cities group. And both Julie and I have backgrounds in account engagement. We might have some people here that have Marketing Cloud engagement background. We welcome you. We're glad you're here to join us. But just sometimes the content and the direction will be coming from account engagement. But I still think this is a really worthwhile session, especially because Julie's going to be walking us through a demo with the new system. We have a lot to cover, so just keep your questions in the chat. We'll be trying to come back through it. We're really going to be stringent. We're really going to try to keep ourselves so that we have 15 minutes at the end for Q&A, because I can imagine a lot of discussions happening. And also, we will be recording this meeting. And let's just double check. I got the record going right here. Let's take a look. I hit record. Hold on. Yeah, it's recording. So sorry, I just wanted to make sure that we were recording this. Just one for clarification is that Marketing Cloud is Salesforce's new marketing application. Okay, so the session today, the primary topic is Marketing Cloud. But there's a lot of confusion with the names because we're not going to be talking about Marketing Cloud engagement, formerly known as ExactTarget. We're not going to be talking about account engagement, formerly known as Pardot. We're going to be focusing on the new product called Marketing Cloud. I've also seen it called Marketing Cloud Growth. Then they rolled out Marketing Cloud Growth and Advanced. And now, just literally in the last week or so, I've seen Salesforce has dropped the Growth and Advanced. And so I'm actually not changing this. I'm laughing. I told Julie the name of our title was literally Marketing Cloud Growth because that's what it was like 2 to 3 weeks ago. And the rate of change is so fast that it's changing. I even kind of put the screenshot, the implementation guide. So when we're talking about implementing the new product, it's literally called Marketing Cloud. So I just kind of like did that as a proof point to show that I'm not just making this up. We're all going to have to keep each other in check when we refer to Marketing Cloud, which one we mean to, which we're referring to. But I also want to say, I don't want to put the crossouts. Those do not mean that those products are going away, Marketing Cloud engagement or account engagement. Just simply to clarify that what we're talking about today. Okay, awesome. I see 47 names here. And I was wondering, I'm working really close with Salesforce and some of this new product and some of the new features. And they have some questions. And so can everybody just take 2 minutes and scan this QR code? There's 7 questions, but 4 of them are yes, no questions. So they're going to be super fast. But if you could just scan this while you're sitting there, appreciate your input. We're going to aggregate the data and share that with Salesforce. But there's 2 good reasons to do it. One is the product managers that are asking for this, they often are speakers on this. So when they said, hey, could you help us out? I said, sure, let's try to do that. And I'm hoping that someday I'll be saying, hey, can you come speak to my group? And they'll be willing to do that. The other thing is that your answers actually fuel decisions they make. So the way we respond could, it could impact how communication is or, or give them a better understanding of where we are today. And it might influence some change for them. So I'm just going to be quiet for a second. Just give you 2 minutes to fill that out. Oh, 50 people. I'm hoping I see 50 submissions on the survey.
We don't see the QR code. Are you sharing it?
Oh my gosh, hold on a second. You don't see the QR code?
No.
How do you not see the QR code?
Oh.
It's right there on the screen.
Yeah. Am I sharing the screen? Oh, are you not? Is it
like? Oh, there it is. Oh, I see it. Sorry. I was looking at the meeting. Sorry.
Okay,
thanks.
Perfect. So I'm just going to give you guys a minute for that. All right, awesome. So I'm going to keep going. Like I said, at least if you grab the screen, I'm going to keep talking, just keep filling it out, no problem. Talking points today, like what is Marketing Cloud? What is Data Cloud? Why do you need it? Julie's going to run with a demo. I've got some cool features to talk about, and we'll also talk about some of the challenges and what's going on with the winter release. Lots to go. Okay, so the new Marketing Cloud, there was actually a long definition here, but I just erased it because it sounded very salesy. I mean, the new Marketing Cloud, it's basically Salesforce's new marketing app. It's basically, you know, instead of trying to constantly tweak the existing products that they have in marketing, it was like, you know what, we're just going to rebuild. We're going to start in a new spot. So the new Marketing Cloud is built on top of Salesforce's Einstein 1 platform, and it uses Data Cloud. Those are two big things. Just for clarifying, I'm like, what is Einstein 1? So Einstein 1, it's basically an overarching AI platform that includes tools for building and deploying AI models, okay? And Data Cloud is basically a specific feature inside Einstein 1, and that focuses on bringing data together. This was the simplest definitions that I could provide, but just to kind of give you some groundwork, some ground foundational information on what we're talking about. But the most important thing is that the new Marketing Cloud, it's connected to Data Cloud. So what do we mean by that? So right now, a lot of us on this call are familiar with account engagement. And account engagement, formerly known as Pardot, is a marketing platform, and it syncs with Salesforce, right? We all know that, right? Leads, contacts, there's a sync that happens when you connect the two. That's common knowledge. The new marketing platform is not synced with Salesforce. Okay, the new marketing platform is sitting on top of Data Cloud. So what I have here is that the new marketing, this is the future. So this in the center here, imagine this is Data Cloud, and you can see it's actually just like a hub. So Sales Cloud plugs into Data Cloud. Service Cloud could plug into it. This question mark doesn't mean like I'm not sure what it is. It means it could be anything, like your ERP. So an ERP is maybe your company's accounting software, like that shows all the purchases that have happened. You're going to be able to plug into that. So you can imagine all the like new capacity and new universe that you get because you're not limited to Sales Cloud anymore. It's like any data form. Now you have the ability to run marketing automation off of it. So again, just a little bit about Data Cloud. So Data Cloud is a CDP. That stands for a customer data platform. And it's basically a central database that allows you to tie data together. Here's an example that I have. I live in the Midwest, and Casey's is a convenience store. And so what happens is that, like, imagine you're a marketer at Casey's, and you're like, okay, I want to send some type of promotional email. Well, obviously, people buy products in the store, right? I can go into the gas station and I can buy a bag of chips. I can buy pizza. I can buy like a windshield wiper. You can also buy different items on the gas pump kiosks, or I could do things online. They have really good pizza there, by the way. So, and you can order that online. So it gets challenging because can you imagine being a marketer saying like, okay, I want to do everyone who bought pizza last month. Okay, but what if they bought that online? What if they bought that in the store? I just kind of want to pause there. Like, we all have worked with data. I mean, we all struggle with trying to get the data to read together. How do you put all this together? For the gas, there's not like an application that you can download that basically ties in all the gas pumps kiosks into your marketing automation platform, right? No, but that doesn't exist, right? So it's just like sporadic data all over the place. But Casey's, and this is an example that I got from Salesforce and permission to use, they use Data Cloud. So they basically took all the in-store registers, the gas pump kiosk, and everything that's purchased online, and they put it together in Data Cloud. So now Casey's could read that. So when it says like, what does Jen Kazin do? They know exactly how I purchase, and then they're sending emails based on that. So for instance, when they promote, they're like, we know that Jen loves the pizza, so I get pizza coupons. My husband gets the iced coffee, so he will get iced coffee coupons. And they know that because they have the full view of everything that's happening. So like I said, imagine, all of the purchasing information is coming here with a question mark, and you're going to be able to operate off that. So what does this look like? So a lot of people don't have access to it, so I just wanted to share here. So like I said, you go into Salesforce and you go into marketing. So it's called the marketing app right now. I think I literally, again, the world keeps changing. I think today I was in there, it's called Marketing Cloud Growth. So again, but it has the same icons and I'm confident it's the same. But you can see that when you go into the new platform, it's literally called marketing. And I also just wanted to highlight some of the features across the top here. Like it's different, right? Identity resolution. That's something that you use in Data Cloud, right? Consent. We'll talk more about that. Profile Explorer, analytics, right? These are all segments. These are all things that are very important in the new marketing ecosystem because it's connected to Data Cloud. Just like account engagement is connected to Salesforce, you might see leads and contacts and opportunities on the top. Data Cloud is different. All right, I'm going to hand this over to Julie, and she's going to run you guys through a demo. So I think you can just grab it from me, can't you? Or I'll stop sharing. Make sure you can grab it.
All right, let me just hide all my meeting controls and videos. So, all right. So thanks, Jen. That was a really good overview. Just, level set here. This is obviously brand new. So this is brand new to me. So I've spent a lot of time in the last few weeks just diving into the demo org that we have available on the partner platform, and really familiarizing myself with the product. I was certified in Data Cloud a few months ago, so I've kind of got that background, but it is new and they're putting so many resources towards it. So that's what I'm excited about, is that they keep coming out with new features and it's just getting better and better and better. That said, it doesn't have 100% parity with feature parity with account engagement. So, there are some gaps, but overall, I like the direction they're headed with it. So I think you'll get that from the demo. So I put together this demo basically with the understanding that nobody here has seen it. Maybe you've seen a little bit of it here and there. So it's a pretty simple demo, but it does cover some of the basic features. So I'm just going to start off with a campaign object. This is the campaign object you're all familiar with, but they've really enhanced it so that that's where you go to create an email. That's where you go now to create a landing page or a form. It all starts at the campaign level. So if I was going to create a campaign, let's say to promote a conference that our company is going to, and we wanted to send an email campaign to the CEOs in our database. So I would just click new as if I'm creating a new campaign. I'm just going to create a child campaign in this example. So this is a screen you're familiar with. We're just going to name it. So promotion for conference to CEOs. Okay, so these are your standard fields on your campaign object, but when I click save, it's a little different page layout. So it's first going to tell me that Agentforce is here. So Marketing Cloud Growth does use a lot of AI. I don't have that set up in my demo database, but I'm just going to start from basic square one of how to send an email. So you'll come into this page, and so Marketing Cloud Growth uses Flow in the background. That's how, so if you guys are familiar with Flow in Salesforce, it's when you create a form, for example, it's creating a form flow in the background. But when you create a campaign, the first thing you're going to do is choose what kind of campaign. So you want to send a single email or a message series, which would be like Engagement Studio. Or do you want to create a form, send an SMS message, create a blank email, or a blank event? So I'm going to click single email for this demo. And we'll be brought to a page that kind of combines the list building with the email template. So here we've got, I'm able to set a default logo. So whenever I go to create an email, it automatically puts my logo in there. So we'll start with just editing the content. So I'm just going to click edit here, and it brings me into the new email builder. So they basically took the email builder that's in account engagement and added a bunch of features and made it quicker and easier to use. So this is just my email template. So you've got some additional components over here on the left. So for example, you have a divider component, so you can add a line. You can add a list. So if I drag and drop this, oops, drag and drop my list component in here. Well, we'll get back to that. So you're editing your email within this panel here. It's no longer on the right-hand side like it is in account engagement. So just come to our conference to see our new marketing platform. We will show you, now let's see if I can get this list thing to work. Here we go. We'll just drag and drop that. So you can put in your bullets in here. We'll show you how to send an email. We'll show you landing pages and forms, etc. Right? So it works similar to the other email builder that you might be familiar with, where you've got a button builder over here. So if I click on the button over here on the right, you've got a style tab. So it's similar. You can come in here and you can change your padding. You can, change the size of the button. So if I do custom and make this say 70%, it'll make the button smaller, etc. So it's basic design functionality. So we won't put too much time into that. But up here is where the subject line is changed. So I'm just going to click edit there, edit by subject. Come to our conference. And then you've got your pre-header text, conference, awesomeness, whatever you want in there. All right. So, I'm just going to click save and then publish my email. Is there anything, Jen, you would like to point out with the email builder before I go on?
I know I saw some good, can fonts be uploaded or brand fonts?
Oh, yes,
at this
sorry.
point?
Yes.
No, I didn't believe that. Right now, the answer to that is no.
Right. Good point. I did want to mention the branding. So this is a brand new feature that's not available in account engagement, where you can set up different brands for your organization. So if I click select brand, I created a custom brand with custom fonts and custom colors for the buttons, etc. So if you select the brand, it will change the overall look and feel of the email based on the brand that you set up. And then if you click X, you can delete the brand and go back to the standard default. But yes, I'll show you where you can set those up. Good point. All right, so I'm going to click publish. So after you build your email, you need to publish your email. So I'm going to just click publish now. And then we're going to go back to the campaign. All right. So the next thing, what you're going to do with your email, well, you're going to choose who your sender is. So the sending is a little different. You're going to be setting up your authentication, your domain authentication in Salesforce. It's not a separate application. This is the Encore part. You're also going to be setting up what are called org-wide email addresses in Salesforce to confirm who the senders are allowed to be. And they have to have the same domain as the authenticated domain. So I just set up a couple of senders in here. So that's where you see that sender list. Now, there's a important part here is with regards to consent. So the new Marketing Cloud growth is really GDP compliant. So you have to, it's really encouraging you to have your contacts opt in in order to receive emails. So that said, it's a little different mindset, right, from account engagement where you can send to anybody until they opt out. In this environment, you have to opt in order to receive an email. So, and there's different ways to do this because in the real world, you've got a contact database of 1,000 people and you want to send them an email to see if they want to opt in. So you might import the consent to opt in when you first start out and then come up with different automation to opt people in automatically. So when you send, you're going to choose your sender and then you're going to choose your communication subscription. Now this has to do with the opt-in portion of all of this. So this communication subscription is related to the consent tab here. So as part of the setup, you'll set up different preference pages or subscriptions. So like newsletter or product information, different subscriptions. But by default, out of the box, Marketing Cloud comes with a marketing subscription. So that's what we've opted everybody in my database into. So the next thing you'll do is you're going to select a segment, which is your list, right? So segmentation right here is also this tab here is a data cloud feature. So if you just had data cloud, you could build segmented lists there. So Marketing Cloud is using that data cloud functionality. So what you would do is you just click select segment, and you can either pick an existing list or segment, or you can create a new one. So I'm just going to create a new one so you can see what the segment builder looks like. So you click new segment, and you'll choose what object you want to segment on. Salesforce Data Cloud uses what's called the unified individual, and that is the object at the top in Data Cloud where all that streaming data, customer data coming from your e-commerce system, Salesforce, Marketing Cloud, other systems will unify into one person based on some sort of criteria that you set up. And a lot of times that's based on email address. So when you build a segment, you're building it based on the unified individual in Data Cloud. So I'm just going to build a list of CEOs, example for demo. So when you build your segment, Data Cloud's a little different because the segment list has to wait for the data to stream into Data Cloud, and that happens, once or twice a day. And so you can choose when you want to publish your list. That said, when your list if you refreshed your list all the time, it would use up Data Cloud credits, which can be kind of add up to your cost. So you want to kind of click don't refresh initially. So I'm going to click save. And then this is the list, the segment builder. So it's a little different than what you're used to with building lists in account engagement or in Marketing Cloud engagement. So just take a second. So what I'm going to do in this example is I'm just going to do a simple list based on title. So you just drag and drop the field that you want to run your list on. And so you'll see here you've got your operator. So account contact, which is a contact that's related to an account. Title is equal to CEO. Okay. And then you click done and save. And you'll see the count, the segment population count right here. So it found 4 contacts or unified individuals with a title of CEO. So the thing is with the segment builder right now in Data Cloud is you can't see out of the box who's in this list. But that said, you can build Salesforce reports and send them as campaign members, and then you can kind of do your list that way, which is just another way to do it. But this is just a basic list. So I'm going to click my back button. So it associated my email promotion for conference to CEOs with this list, and you can see the segment population right here. All right. So let me just make sure I'm covering everything I want to cover. So in the background, what's happening with an email is that it's building a flow for you. So if I click open flow, you can see what the flow looks like. You don't have to go into the flow, but this is kind of what's happening in the background. And what flow gives you the ability to do is really make more sophisticated automation around email sends or form completions. So this created all that work that we just did, created this little flow. It's triggering off of the segmented list, and it's sending out the email. So when you go to send the email, you just come down here to either schedule or send. So if I click send now, you can choose this button here immediately. This is asking you when you want to republish that segment. So have that segment run. And I usually pick right before running this flow, meaning right before sending the email. So you can get the latest, if people are being added in your database, that you're getting the latest people in your segment. All right. So before I move on to the landing page and form, is there anything else, Jen, you wanted to add to the email side of things?
Just pause here, like maybe just for a second. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any questions. I've been trying to answer things on the chat.
Oh, good, thanks.
We're keeping up with everything. I know there's a couple Marketing Cloud experts on here as well. So Aaron Duncan, I know, is one. So if you have anything to Aaron, is there anything that you know that we should talk about this time? I kind of like to keep it conversational. I'm putting her on the spot, by the way.
No, I mean, I think you guys have covered it really well. I've been trying to answer questions in the chat for what I know as well, but since it's such a new tool, some of the information is a little bit up in the air.
Yeah, it's hard to know all the answers, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, good. So I will move on to I did want to show you guys, though, the whole thing around campaign members, because frankly, I think that that's the easiest way to build these lists. And I'll show you what I mean. So if I was going to create a new email, I'll just show this really quick. So if I was going to create a new email in here, instead of selecting a segment, you can select send to campaign members. And so the way that works is that if you build a report, a contact report, that any report that has a contact and an email address. So I have one right here, for example. So this is a list of all contacts that are in Colorado. In Salesforce reports, you can add these people to a campaign as campaign members just by clicking that button. So you choose which campaign you want to add them to, and you click submit, and they get added as campaign members instantly, right? So if I come in here to campaign members, you're going to see that this campaign member will start to show all those people that were on that report. It takes just a minute. But then what that allows you to do is once they show up, is when you go to send the email, and I'll go back and check that too. You can click send to campaign members. And what that will do is actually create a segment for you based on the campaign members in your campaign. So I find that to be a little easier because you can actually see who the people are in your report as well as on the campaign itself in the members related list. So you can see here, here's the segment that it just created. There they are. They're right here. So any thoughts about that, the campaign member side of things?
Yeah, Ashley had a question. Hold on. She said, can you just avoid segment building by using campaign members instead? Question mark.
Yes, because it's creating a segment for you. So if I click into this, it's bringing me into the segment builder. It literally created this segment for you. The only thing is you've got the timing with Data Cloud because that only runs once a day or twice a day. So you still do have to wait for Data Cloud to run. You could trigger Data Cloud to run if you know how. But like right now it says 0 because we have to wait for the unified individual to be created off of the campaign member record. So it's a little complicated, but there is a timing issue. So yes, that's what I'm thinking. I think it's much easier to use the campaign members. Any other comments or questions around that?
Well, someone else commented and said, what if the user is unsubscribed?
So Data Cloud or Marketing Cloud's not going to send an email to anybody who's unsubscribed. It just won't. It also won't send an email to anybody who has not opted in on their contact record. So if we come to contacts and I pull up a contact, there's a new component here for consent. And you can see here that this guy opted in, but you can update consent here and you can change him to opt it out as well. But he can opt out on an email and that's considered an unsubscribe and he won't get future emails.
Okay. Why don't you keep going? There's still some more questions, but we'll try to continue to add. If we're not answering your question, hold them and then we'll make sure we try to catch them at the end too.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so I wanted to show you how a landing page and a form are built. So I'm going to just stay within the same campaign and you just click new flow. Oh, by the way, you can rename these flows. So if you come in here and you come to the dial, you can just change the label. And this is just the email template for conference, just so it's easier for you to know what's what in your campaign. So if I click new flow, I'm going to just choose sign up form. So this contains this type will contain both a landing page and a form in the same screen. So I'm going to click select and it will bring me into a builder similar to what we saw with the email. And from there, we can edit both the landing page as well as the form. So it puts in a default landing page and form for you. So you can see here, it pulled in my default logo, and then it just brings in a template to get you started with designing your landing page. So if you click your edit button over on the right, you can edit your landing page from here by changing the text, right? Join us or join us at the conference. Fill out the form. Whatever you want, obviously, on your landing page. So this works similar to the email builder. Same with account engagement. So you have some new components like the divider and the list, as well as paragraphs. So it's a little different, but I think it's a nice, cleaner way to build out your landing page. Now the form, what's nice about this, I love the new form builder. So here you can edit your form just by coming over here and clicking edit. And it will bring you into the form builder so you can make your changes to the form. So by default, it has the phone number here because it's, gearing up to SMS texting, trying to collect phone numbers so that we can do that. But let's say in this example, we just wanted to swap out phone number and we wanted title instead. So what you can do is you just click on the field, you click your delete button. And then we're going to add title from the lead object. So you can choose your data source. So what's nice about this is you're getting real-time information. Like these forms are literally fields that are in Salesforce. So if I click save, then now we see all of our lead fields over here on the left, and you can drag and drop your lead fields that you want. So I'm going to just put title. And then over on the right, you've got a nice style capabilities for text, colors, layout. I think it's a little nicer than the current Marketing Cloud account engagement form builder. So under layout, you've got some options such as padding. So this title is not aligned with those, but you can do tiny, medium, small. So let's say it's small, so it gives you a little indent. And then let's say we want to make this field required. We just click this button here. But you have a lot more options with styling than you do in the current system. So I think this is a huge add to the Marketing Cloud environment. So I'm just going to click publish. Okay, let's go back. Save. And we're going to go back. Where's the back button? Let's go back in here. Refresh. So forms use flows in the background. So you can see here now on my landing page, we see title. But over here on the right, let's see, where's the flow? We're going to go to edit. Where's my flow? Sorry, I had this all lined up. Flow, here we go. So down here, I'm going to edit the flow so you can see it. So the flow, if you think about that, is more like completion actions. What's going to happen after they hit submit in that form? So when they hit submit, you're defining that in the flow. Out of the box, the forms will create a lead, and they'll also create a consent record. So they'll opt people in. So it's important to have that message on the form that by completing this form, you're opting in to messaging. So if I click, one thing you do have to do, so you should really know flows. If you want to really get into Marketing Cloud, you need to know flows pretty well because all of this is driven in the background by flows. So for example, we just swapped out phone number for title. So this lead create element on the flow, I would have to come in here and just delete phone and just replace that with title. And then that way, and then you can map the form field to the field in Salesforce. So you have that capability right here on the flow. The other thing you need to do is you need to edit your consent element. So so it comes with this element here, but you have to actually set it up when you do a form. So you do opt in, we're going to match on email address, and we're going to select the email channel and the communication subscription of marketing. Subscription of marketing, save. And then we're going to go back. Go back to the campaign. And then we're going to activate and we're going to publish. All right. So when we created that landing page and form, it actually created a record under the content tab behind the scenes. So in here, this is where we would grab the public URL. So when we clicked activate and publish, it actually, let's go find this. This isn't the one we just did. Implement. 11:39, this is it. Let's try this one. Test landing page. So it'll create a public URL right here. Now this isn't the one we just did, but I know this one works. So if you click on that, it'll bring you into the landing page and you can test it. So if you come in here and fill out the form, it will create a lead in Salesforce. Whoops. Anyway, new product, new errors. But it kind of gives you an idea, an overview of how it works. So Jen,
Oh, you're doing great. Yeah, awesome. I'm going to just go through my stuff. So I'm going to grab the screen back.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Okay, so I want to make sure we have time for questions. So I'm going to go very briefly through just a couple slides. Hold on, I'm going to hit play here. Slideshow. Okay, so the one thing is that I hear a lot of like, can it do this? Can it do that? And so like, honestly, a lot of times I'm going to say it's just not there yet. The capability is they're still working on it. So I've changed my mindset. Like I used to think I'm in account engagement and then at some point I'm going to move. And it's not, I wouldn't think of it like that. What I would think of it as right now, if you wanted to, you could text out of account engagement. You know, you spend most of your time in account engagement. That's going to be most of it. But like, if you want to send a text, you're just going to go in Salesforce, you just go to the marketing app and send it. So like, I would just go and send my text through there. Or maybe like I send 5 different kinds of emails, but for product updates, I actually need to know like who made purchases. So therefore I might go to the new marketing app for that kind of email to send because that's giving me additional capability on top of what I have today. I would say with that mindset, it like, I feel I'm giving Salesforce a little bit more time to get the systems up to parity. One big gap is I think, like I said, right now we don't have form handlers, which is an account engagement features for forms. So like, I mean, almost most companies use those. So I can't imagine people are just gonna like rip out their account engagement and jump over. So I mean, I think you got to think of it as like additive, which will then take me to the slides. So this is the summary of cool Marketing Cloud features, Jen's list. Like with the new system, you're going to get data cloud capabilities, which means pulling in data from all kinds of spots. Texting, like we've not been able to text for 23 years. Like, what does that look like? Like, go back to your teams and think about if I could send a text, what would that be? Like, would you want to text once within an engagement studio? Maybe. So like maybe that engagement studio lives in Marketing Cloud and the other engagement studios still live in account engagement. AI, in the new Marketing Cloud, there's AI at all levels. That's actually kind of cool. That might be something that I might be using or leveraging. Flows, a lot more capability. Like, I know while it's frustrating because like I would love Salesforce to get custom font in the email builder. I'm like, please get that in there, but it's not there. And so, but at the same time, I mean, there's new features and functionalities. With flows, I'm excited because I'm glad Salesforce is making a change. Like to think that all I'm going to have in the rest of my life is the 12 completion actions. I'm like, flows is going to just, open that wide open. Open that up, better consent functionality. So again, with account engagement, you're emailing, but now if someone might want a text and an email, how does that work? So again, you're going to get better functionality. Some key differences. Right now there's no prospects in Marketing Cloud. So like in Pardot or account engagement, you can actually bring prospects in and it's like a holding pin, they stay there. That doesn't exist. So in Sales Cloud, you're going to have, it's what's in Sales Cloud that syncs over and that's available in Marketing Cloud. We already talked about consent. We talked about
Can I interrupt for a second?
Actions. Yep.
With regard to prospects not being in Salesforce, you could always create a new record type called prospects on leads, and that could kind of keep those prospects out of the lead database. And I also wanted to mention, Jen, my landing page wasn't published, so if you'd like me to redemo that, I can.
Okay. We'll see. If questions are light, we can go back to that.
Yeah.
This is my last slide, and then we'll talk. I like the talking part, but
yeah.
There's right now, again, there's probably some challenges. I would say one is the delay. Julie already mentioned that. I mean, we're used to data syncing like every 10 minutes, right? And so it's like a 12-hour delay. So it could be your data from yesterday is just coming in now for today. And part of that is because it has to go through syncing, and then there's like identity resolution rules. So there's a process that it's going through. Is it going to be like that forever? I don't think I can't speak to it. I'm just explaining what is available right now. Flows, like for marketers to use flows, it gets complicated. Julie has got Salesforce background, so she's whizzing around through the flows. Not everyone has that level of comfort. you can't see segment detail. So when Julie was showing, like, I'm going to create like a list, it's a segmentation. So, 1,000 names come in here. We're used to in account engagement being able to go into that list and see, okay, let's see the individual names. Like, you actually can't do that. You actually have to build a query to be able to see what's inside. We talked about feature parity, right? Right now, it's a little bit lopsided. You still have a lot more in your marketing cloud engagement or account engagement right now. And then my last point, but I already saw some people in the chat, is that there's still cloudiness, uncertainty on cost and credit consumption. I've asked several times, I've stopped asking with Salesforce. I think they don't want to hear my question anymore. But I would say my response to that is, if you're interested in this and some of the features, go talk to your AE. So as of this week, what I have heard is that you have access to Marketing Cloud functionality if you currently have an account engagement system. So if you have any level of Marketing Cloud account engagement, you will have access to the Marketing Cloud features and functions, as long as you already have Data Cloud or you have a high enough level of Salesforce that gives you the free Data Cloud. So go talk to your AE and see what that means. Some of these, yeah. I'll throw this up and then I'll leave it up. But just also, I'm actually moving to virtual. So like right now, how about this? I'm still going to be a member of the new Marketing Cloud Twin Cities group. So the new group combines, I'll still be a member there. But they still talk about Marketing Cloud engagement. And so I'm spinning off and I'm actually just going to have a new virtual group, a user group, where I'm going to focus on account engagement and the new Marketing Cloud. So if you'd like to be a member of that, scan the QR code. And like I said, I just need your email. I'll only be using it for membership. That's all. I'm thinking we're going to meet probably about 6 times a year for 1-hour sessions, similar to what you're getting today. So if you like what you're getting today and you want more of this, grab the QR code, because my group basically got decimated because Salesforce put the groups together. So we're starting new. So I'll leave this up a little bit while questions are going on. Feel free. Let's see here, Julie, or if you had a chance, let's go look at some of the questions.
You can also sign up for the New Hampshire B2B New Hampshire user group, because we're combined groups today. So
Yes, for sure.
Go ahead, Jen. What was your question?
Oh, I'm just looking up. Well, how about we just open it up? We'll start. I'm going to start looking at what's in the chat, but feel free. Someone's got we purposely tried to stop and leave time for questions. So if anyone wants to go off mute and have a question, go for it. Here, what do I have here? Okay. I'm reading, but I feel like actually someone's been really good at answering a lot of these.
Does the new Marketing Cloud require clients to purchase Data Cloud separately? No, the Data Cloud comes with Sales Cloud, but with Marketing Cloud, you get a certain number of credits. Do you want to put up that pricing slide, Jen?
Oh, yeah. This was as of like summer, because you can see they're still referencing Marketing Cloud growth. But when I was asking about credit consumptions, this is what Salesforce provided me.
So 180,000 emails a year.
Yeah. So what's different, another way of saying it is that I got to be careful about the word free. Like, you were getting access to the features, but there is additional costs it's a credit model for consumption on how data is consumed and how you run it. So for instance, every time you run a segmentation, which is kind of like a dynamic list, credits get consumed. So this information is important to understand. How about email metrics? Julie, I think you've already talked about this. Do you want to comment on what are the email metrics? How are those reported in the new system?
So there are some out-of-the-box reports. It's using the Salesforce Report Builder. I personally think it needs a little work because it's a little unclear. Some of the naming conventions are a little unclear, but the data is there, and there are some report types around it. So.
Yeah, I kind of know this one. Are there specific permission sets that need to be given for users to be able to access the new Marketing Cloud? I would say yes. So I think when you talk to your AE and you're interested in getting access to it, they make the permission sets available. If I'm understanding the process, and it's all very new right now. But again, if you currently have account engagement, any addition, you can talk to your AE about getting access to the permission sets that will give you access to the functionality in Marketing Cloud, the new Marketing Cloud. There's some questions about how complex can you make the segmentation logic? What do you think, Julie? I mean, there's a lot
you
of
can make it
flexibility.
very complex. Yeah, it's pretty sophisticated because it is using Data Cloud. But the campaign member, building a report as campaign members, I find much easier because you can see the data, you can add fields to your report, and you can really see what you're building. But it is very sophisticated, the segment builder.
Yeah. What if we wanted to suppress somebody? So I'm going to send an email, but I'm going to also suppress it. I think if I was suppressing it, I'd do that in the criteria, the segmentation, right?
Yeah, that would be a segmentation. You could have another list that is your suppression list, and you can add that to your segment rules.
Right, inside the criteria.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yes, the meeting recording will be available.
What else? Is this product replacing Marketing Cloud Engagement or Exact Target, or is it replacing Marketing Cloud Account Engagement? Those two products are going to be running for a long time because they have so much functionality. They're not getting rid of those two products at any time soon or sunsetting them. But I'm sure eventually you can see that if this product, as it matures and has all that functionality, that would be probably their plan, I imagine. We don't work for Salesforce, but. And feel free to unmute yourself if you want to add or ask a question.
Yeah. So Zach said at True to the Core, they mentioned their intention to consolidate everything on platform. Obviously a long-term goal, right?
Yeah. Can landing page submissions trigger Salesforce flows? Do these records just land in Data Cloud? The form submissions are flow, so you can create records within the flow. So I showed you the basic flow where you fill out a form and it updates consent, but you can add campaign members in a flow. So you could say, all right, as part of the submission, create a campaign member with a status of registered. You can do, create an application record from a flow. You could do all sorts of things. So that's kind of where that sophistication lies.
Yep. I also think there's a lot of really cool stuff going on in the winter release. It's like when you work in the new Marketing Cloud, you just got to be patient because there's so much change happening. Like names change, like documentation that was new a month ago is now different. Button that you'll see buttons change. Like you just really have to be ready for the Wild West a little bit when you're in there. I mean, I still think that, it's just ready for lots of change. Some of the, when I'm speaking of changes, like how robust the releases are, like they're just full of it. Like, so when Julie was talking about the campaign, so like anytime you do something, you go to a campaign. I'm going to send an email, I go to the campaign tab. If I'm going to send an SMS, I go to the campaign tab. And with that, then when you're going to those campaign tabs, you're going to be able to, send everything out. Oh, I'm getting distracted here. AMP script is not supported at this point. Yeah. And I think they know that. But again, I do anticipate more coming with the email builder. I don't think that's going to be the way it is always. But going back to what I was saying about the releases is that, for instance, when you're in the campaign tab, there's an event trigger flow is a new one. And so for instance, you could do something like if somebody made a specific kind of purchase, I want to trigger an email off of that. And then with some of the now merge field capabilities, you could literally put like an event is triggered off a purchase. And then in the email that gets sent out, you can literally put like the name of the product that was purchased, right? Like You can't
Yeah.
do that in account engagement right now. I'm not sure about MCE, or if you can do it in marketing cloud engagement, I'm sure it takes a fair amount of building to do that. And so now we're starting to see this type of functionality coming out as native.
I have one last question, maybe, and this is going into Marketing Cloud account engagement with the email content. I noticed over the last maybe week, 10 days that there is now a select in email experience when you go to edit the template, and you have the option to stay with the current email experience or go to the new email experience.
Yeah.
I assume new email experience is heading into this whole new marketing cloud paradigm.
Yeah. I'm not a marketing cloud engagement person. So like if any of you can comment, but I'm pretty sure that's
account engagement. Was that
Yeah.
marketing cloud account engagement, Michael?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
The new experience.
Yeah. The new experience is this. Yes.
Yes.
Because
So it is bringing in your marketing cloud growth.
right.
Yeah.
So when you go and try and send something using that editor, you get told you have no credits, but fortunately you can toggle back and forth. But this is where it's heading. That's what I just wanted to confirm. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. And that's been out for a little bit now. I think I would almost even say 5 months or so. That's been out. I thought you're right. I thought you were saying it was in marketing cloud engagement.
I don't open the new email experience.
Yeah, I'm advising my clients not to do that.
Correct.
Because there's no strategy around data cloud and marketing cloud.
Yeah.
The new marketing cloud. So yeah.
Could we have the
Good call.
default as current email experience then, so you don't have to toggle down to it each time? That's just a recommendation.
I'm pretty sure mine defaults to current.
Nope, mine defaults to new.
Yeah.
Every time?
Yeah, every time I go to edit, it pops that up, and it's and
I
then
haven't-
you have to switch it to current and hit select.
Oh, geez, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. I do know on everyone, because I guess I know like if I switched into new, then I think it defaults to new, but I believe it might, like you said, things are changing quickly. I'm not aware of a test org at this point. How much time to migrate? I don't know. That's just such a really hard answer. I would say, like, honestly, before I even answer that, I would say that you would probably make it. So the question is, for orgs with account engagement that want to migrate, how much time would it consume to perform the migration? My guess right now is that if you made a checklist of what you're going to need in account engagement and what you have in account engagement and what you're going to need for marketing cloud, you're going to actually find some gaps that probably would make you hold off at this point. Is my guess. Again, I'm actually I'm an advocate for the product. I'm very excited about the future, but I think that right now you would probably find something that you're like, hey, this is probably going to make us hang on for a minute before we actually do it. I think the bigger reality is, what quick feature do I want over there that I'm going to do a partial? I'm going to go peek in there and set it up and then use just that feature.
Yeah, because it's not going to be a migration per se, because you're not going to be able to take your old emails and put them in the new builder. What there might be a discussion about is bringing some of that engagement data to data cloud, and so that you can use that, going forward. But yeah, I'd say you really have to do an analysis to see what features you're going to be missing, which is what Jen said.
Awesome. Okay, everybody, I think we're at 2:00. So I'm going to stop sharing, but thanks everybody. It was great to see all the faces and the names. Keep in touch.
Good to see you all.
Yep.
See you next time.